Hey everyone, I have my friend Leah here. Leah and I met, gosh, now I can't even think about how long, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, not very long ago.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about how she went from like inconsistent, and I think you had told me once, I don't know if I'm putting words in your mouth, scattered was kind of the way you explained it, to way more
Yeah.
organized, focused, and having your highest income month. But the highest income month was like all of the 6 months previously combined. It wasn't just like I made like $20 more that month.
Mhm.
And so I have been so eager to have this conversation with you so you could share some encouragement to people who are out there trying to do it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where do you live? Do you have a family? What was your previous career? Stuff like that, just so people can, maybe your favorite
Yeah.
taco?
Yeah. So I'm actually from central Pennsylvania. I live in a really, really small town. And so it might be a population of a couple hundred people. It's very small.
Really? I did not
Uh,
know that.
yeah. So I have a family of seven. So it's my husband and I and our five kiddos. So we have four boys and one girl. And yeah, so we're a busy family, and I've worked in multiple capacities before, in coaching, and I've coached local high school teams. I've worked in retail and managed retail stores, and ran a daycare center, which was what I did previous to working with the financial services company, that agency that I actually run now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what attracted you to network marketing out of curiosity?
Yeah, so I really enjoyed the ability to work a schedule when I wanted to and be able to make more money. I really saw the opportunity to be able to grow my leadership and skill set and be able to really just get paid what I'm worth instead of having a cap on what it is that I can earn through a regular employment.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, someone else deciding what you're worth,
Mhm.
regardless of your results. I could see how that wouldn't settle well with you for sure.
Yeah.
The hard part though is when our paycheck isn't what we want it to be, and then we come to this realization of, oh, that's the results that I created. I think there's like good and bad to that idea.
Exactly.
Now we met, you ended up, you were pretty solid with your sales, your basic sales skills. And so you ended up jumping over a couple of our entry level courses into the Resilient Leader Mastermind, which is a
Mhm.
small 4 to 8 person mastermind that we run. And so before we met, what were some of the problems that you were hoping to solve with your business?
I was looking to gain more clarity on how I could organize myself and my life. Obviously, having five kids, there's a lot of moving parts, as well as my husband's a business owner. So I was looking at a way that I could really feel solid in my planning, my business, and creating clear goals, and being able to achieve those goals, and making sure I can measure them along the way, so I can really help others do the same thing that I'm doing. So I feel like I've learned a lot of that in a very short period of time, and started implementing some of those strategies, although not perfect at it, but I far cry
Yeah, yeah.
better than what I was. And it definitely has produced really great results in a short period of time.
I love that. So can you tell me a little bit more about when you felt unorganized and like you didn't have a plan? What were the things that were hardest for you?
Of course, unorganization always brings like that feeling of like I'm not doing well. Even though you have great skill sets, even though you actually can do really well at what you're doing, but you feel a weight of just maybe even just shame around
Oh,
that, because you're
yeah.
like, well, other people are doing this, and why can't I get this together, right? And there's just so much that goes behind that. If you feel unorganized, and you just don't have a clear picture, then you just don't feel like you have purpose. And so of
Yeah.
course all those things are very important to be able to build a business.
Yeah, that was a much deeper answer than I was expecting. And thank you so much for sharing
Yeah.
that. I feel like when I'm unorganized or unclear with my goals, I've showed up to my coach. I've worked with my coach for 7 years. And I'm just like, I don't know, what am I even doing with my life? And she's like, oh, we're doing that conversation again. She's probably got an outline for it because we've had it so many times. And then the other thing that runs through my head, and I wonder if you can relate with this based on what you said, it's just like this blanket, like get your ish together.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
like, and then it follows with what's wrong with you, or that, right? It's like, what's wrong with you? Get your crap together, or get
Yep.
your crap together. What's wrong with you? That's really not a great way to be free, is kind of what drew you into your business.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think were going to be, what was going to happen? Like, what was your future going to look like if you didn't go back and fix those problems?
Well, of course, I would keep repeating the cycle. There's if you, you don't if you don't do something different, nothing's going to change. And so, of course, I wanted to change. I wanted to fix this problem, but just didn't really quite have the tools to do so.
Yeah.
And of course the coaching. And so, yeah, I would have kept just going at this, and I would have stayed at the same income level. I wouldn't have, I mean, I was increasing my income every year, but not by much. But now I really feel good about the fact that I can grow my income year over
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. I love that. Even with your commitments,
Mm-hmm.
commitments.
Yeah.
Children is what I really mean. I full disclosure to everyone, I'm terrified when there are more than two children in a situation. I am so happy for you also. Like, that's just my confusion. I'm like, I think maybe I go to too many amusement parks where all the things are in like four. I think I was like indoctrinated that way.
Yeah. Well, it helps that I ran a daycare center. So
Oh yes,
it
that's very
trained me
helpful.
to handle 5, 10 kids all at one time,
No, I
right?
think that that's
Multiplying.
great. Well, I just think like one of the things that I love whenever I chat with you is I never heard you say life got in the way. I'm not once. And most people will say that. And what that means to me is that our careers are not also part of our lives. Like, they're separate. Like, there's my personal life and there's my career, and they're two separate things. And so this life got in the way of this. And I've always thought of it as, well, this is also life because this is how we pay our bills and this is how we provide for our family. And one of the things that I am so passionate about is giving women an opportunity to provide financial, um, just like money to raise their family. Like, it's not a
Mhm.
very like conflict, like freedom and this, like, it's just, okay, can we get our kids to pay for their college without loans? Can we, if they need therapy for a situation, can we give them the resources that they need? And can we give ourselves the resources we need to be healthy enough to
Mhm.
interact with our family? And so I just love that about you. What were some of the things that you implemented from the Resilient Leader Mastermind that helped with this?
Yeah, so there was a couple of things, but first off is really just the mindset for how to set up your week, like how to look at your week and how to really be the CEO of your business and evaluate what your business needs. And then, of course, being able to then fulfill the employee role and go make that happen. That was a huge thing that I learned right away. And of course, then there was tools that you gave us to be able to sustain all of that, that helped, streamline things, and, implemented those right away. And then, of course, there was some language that you gave us to be able to reach out to new clients. Specifically, we beefed up my referral
Yeah.
program. And then we were able to gain 6 new clients within the first like 6 weeks or so, with just utilizing that system in and of itself. So that's a huge increase in income just in that little tweak that
Yeah.
we made. And a lot of stuff that we do in business, it just is that 1% difference, that
Yeah.
that little thing that we can do here or here. And so that's a lot of what the coaching strategy has helped me with, and that we just basically are implementing, finding holes in the business, maybe where something I don't feel good about, and changing those things.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. So so you're talking about this idea of once a week, be the CEO, look at what are the problems, set the goals, and then the rest of the week just work. What was your life like before you figured that piece out and started implementing that piece?
Yeah, so I knew I had goals that I needed to accomplish. I didn't have clear set goals, nor did I have them organized as to which day I was going to accomplish those goals. And I was trying to fit a lot of it in working a little bit here, a little bit there, instead of like batching all of my work together and being able to really like dig deep in my work and be in the zone and go get it done. And, that helps with, utilizing your time properly, and then you have more to give to your family later.
Yeah, well, and being present and feeling good about when you are with your family. I just feel like the nooks and crannies approach of network marketing. And I don't know why. I mean, I know why people say that's how you can do your business, because I think you can do a hobby in nooks and crannies. But when it starts to become something that is your career and you rely on, then it's hard to be present anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? You're in your business and you feel guilty that you're supposed to be with your family. And then you're with your family, you feel guilty that you're not able to work. And so I'm really glad that you've been able to shift that. What is one tool that you think has been most helpful for you?
I think the tool is really the fact that there's a community of people that are all like on the same path. I don't know if that's really a tool, but
Sure, it's a tool to you.
Yeah.
Why does that help? So in the Resilient Leader Mastermind, the goal is we're going to try to rank advance through systems and strengths instead of just adding a bunch of stress. And so people in this mastermind, the small group specifically, are pursuing or maintaining full-time income, period. That's what we're trying to do. So why do you see that as such a useful tool?
You learn so much from all the other questions that other people ask, and then of course you don't feel like alone in the process at all. And I enjoy people in general, and so it's just nice that you have like, it's like you have a team of people that are all working towards a common goal, and like you feel part of something. So that's big.
Did you feel alone before?
Yeah, I feel like entrepreneurship in general is lonely, especially when you're in leadership. There's not always that person that's pouring into you while you're pouring into everybody else.
Yeah, it's weird because you want to have a team that you're doing this with, to get rid of that loneliness, but it doesn't make you less lonely because you're not on the same, you're not dealing with the same things. And so it's almost more lonely the more people you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what outcomes did you achieve over the past, I think it's been 3 or 4 months?
Yeah. So we obviously hit our highest income month in my 6 years of being in business. And of course, implemented a lot of strategies for our team that has really, in particular, I have one agent that it really made him excited. And now he has been out working independently, and adding another 3 to 4 clients on the last couple of months, and hadn't been really producing a whole lot, just because he didn't necessarily have the confidence. And there's a couple of shifts that we made that really gave him some confidence to be able to do what he's doing now. So it's just it's put a little bit of spark in our team. And of course, we were excited about now hitting some more milestones and beating our highest income month again.
Yeah, I love that. So what are some of the lessons that you learned from this experience?
Yeah, so I've learned, it's really hard to put into words how many things that I have learned, but of course, some of them is just the fact that it's really important to have a coach in general. This is the first time I actually, I've hired a coach before, but didn't really necessarily connect with them as well as I connect with you, Tasha. So I didn't really feel like it was beneficial. So the right coach is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I think it's really important because you can you have a process you always have to go through in life to grow into the person you need to be. And you can do that all alone, and it can take you longer. Sometimes you'll elongate the process that way, or you can hire a coach, and you can really bend time that way and shortcut the process you have to go through to become successful, or whatever your definition of success is. Yeah.
Well, and we're all looking for shortcuts. And so I think that's a really way to look at it. And I know for both of us, I'll maybe try to say that we're current athletes, but I can for sure say we're former competitive
Yes.
athletes. And I can't even imagine being a competitive athlete without having a coach to observe and give feedback
Mhm.
and encouragement or a smack when you need it.
Right.
And I personally feel like business is very similar to that.
Mhm.
That we need to have that outside set of eyes, or we'll just keep shooting with our elbow out. I don't know. That's the only way that I think about that. What advice would you give to other network marketing leaders who are watching this or listening to this?
I would definitely say hire a coach. You know,
Which
don't
coach?
you, Tasha,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Just kidding. I'm
Yeah,
just joking.
get yourself a coach. Like, uh, don't take a long time. I know it's an investment sometimes, and you know, just like it's an investment in the stock market, you know, when you're investing in your mutual funds
Sure.
and things like that, you know, so it's the same, it gives you the same compounding effect. And so you want to do it sooner rather than later, because why wait? You know, there's not a better time than now. There's so many people that probably need what you have to offer. So
Yeah.
that's what
Can I
I'd
ask a
say.
couple of follow-up questions on that? Because
Sure.
there's lots of coaches
Yeah,
out
go ahead.
there. There's just like,
Hmm.
okay, so let's say I'm a person who is worried that I'm not going to implement whatever my coach tells me to do. What advice would you give to that person who is like, I probably should have a coach, but I don't know if I'm gonna, like, maybe I'm lacking belief in myself. What advice would you give that person?
There's lots and lots of opportunity for you, even if, like, I mean, really this culture is like, you know, you could show up and as you are. And so you know, you're really showing up for yourself. And so maybe you don't have the belief, but you can borrow the belief of the team behind you until you get to
Oh,
that
I love
point.
that. I love that. That's so good. That's so good. Um, I don't have any other questions. I think that you pretty much covered it. Leah, I'm so grateful that you bumped into us and we were connected through our friend Natalie. And I'm so excited
Yeah.
for you and what's coming for you and your sweet family over this next year. And thank you so much for sharing. If you're watching this and you want to drop Leah a comment of something that you found that was helpful for you, we really appreciate it. And everyone, see you later. I don't know, Leah, if you want to say bye to everyone. All right.
Yeah, thanks for watching. See ya. I hope this was helpful.